Okay, everybody. So you and I got our wish and we have a snow day. So this video that I'm creating is going to repeat. And so what I need you to do is to type your name in the chat. You can even type what period you're in just to remind me. And everybody should have finished M1 and M2 yesterday. Now, I'm also going to have a component in Google Classroom where I want you to write how you figured out M3. Okay, so I'm going to do a little tutorial for you for M3. Okay, so you're going to factor out the greatest common factor. If the greatest common factor is 1, just retype the polynomial. Okay, so I take 9n squared minus 6n. And what can I factor out of both of them evenly? An n, right? So I know that I'm going to have an n on the outside. Then both of them have a factor of 3. So when I divide 3 also, now the n's I'm done with. So I have 1 n on the inside. But over here, I'm going to factor out that 3. And then I'm going to leave a 3n on the inside and subtract 2. How do I know this is correct? So when I multiply the 3n back into that, I get 9n squared. And when I multiply the 3n to the negative 2, I get minus 6n, which is what we have right here. And that is your result. So 3n times 3n minus 2. So I'm just going to type it in here if it lets me. Yeah, I'm ready. 3n times n, or 3n minus 2. And I'm going to erase. I'm going to move that out the way so that you can see. Okay? And submit. All right. Let's do another one. So what do they both have in common? They have an a squared in common. How do I know that? Because the biggest power is to the third. So I can't pull a to the third out. I can only pull a to the second out. So a squared. Okay. And then they both have a 4 in common. So I can also pull out a 4. And then so what happens when I divide a cubed by a squared? That means I have an a left. And then I'm going to factor out a 4, which leaves an a on the inside. We're undoing the multiplication, and a 2. Is it 2a? No. Sorry, it's squared out here. I knew something was wrong. Okay, so I made a mistake. It's 4a squared that I can pull out right here. Okay? So 4a squared times a plus 2. Oh, geez. Hold on. How do I move? I don't know how to move that down. Okay, there we go. A plus 2. Okay. All right. Now, what steps did I do to figure this out? Because this is what you need to write about. So, step 1. I think it's because my hand is on the submit button. Let's write my steps over here. So step 1, I divided that's an E, by the way. Divided a common factor means they both have something in common that I can factor out. Sorry, I got like little kid handwriting, but I'm trying to write on an angle and not hit the submit button. And then I factored out and I mean variable, the letter for the first part. I like to do the variable first. And then I figured out what number goes into both. So what is, and I'm going to put quotes for a common factor for the number. And then I'm going to just say the rest and you can write this. And then I check it by multiplying it back inside the whole term to see if it matches the original term, which is here. So when I multiply this back together, I get 4a cubed plus 8a squared, which is what we began with. You have to understand that a times a, that's a multiplication symbol, is a to the first times a to the first. And what do? We add the exponents. So it's a squared, okay? So if I multiply a squared times a to the first, I get a to the third. And so what you're doing is you're dividing. You're actually subtracting exponents. You just don't know you're doing it. Dividing is always the easier one, right? So what do I mean by that? So if I have a to the fourth and I divide by a to the second, this is really a to the 4 minus 2, right? It's not 4 divided by 2, it's 4 minus 2. So that is why the result is a to the second. So you have to remember all of your rules from exponents, okay? So this is what I expect you to do on your snow day. Please type your name in the chat for attendance. And you can type what period you're in. Thank you for watching. See you next time.